Hi, everyone. It is Nia Claire with Yes Word Coaching, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the upcoming event, The Light Up, which is happening this Sunday, September 25th, 2022 at 5 p.m. And these little interviews are our opportunity to connect with the practitioners who've said yes to being a part of the event so that you can connect with them. You can maybe even make a decision. Gosh, I really, really need to see Kristy, who we're going to be talking with today. So you can find out who the team is for each event and get to know them. So Kristy, I am so excited that you are joining me today for this conversation. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
I'm so glad. And we both were like, what time will work? Because yesterday I was having technology issues. I know, Mercury retrograde, right?
Right, it's right in the middle of it.
I have had so many funny, like I could just tell stories this month about all of the wackadoodle things that have gone on. But, and I know I'm not alone, right?
No, this has been a month of it all over the place. Yep.
I know. And so when you're like 9 a.m., I'm like, 9 a.m. Yes, I can do it. We'll make it work. So if you're up with us, tell us hi. You can put your names in the comments. Sometimes your name doesn't come through on our end. So if you want to say, hey, it's Patricia, or hey, it's Mary, let us know. We'll say hi. And if at any point during the conversation you have questions or want to know more about the event or want to ask Kristy a question, we're here for it. We're all up for it. So Kristy, this is a chance for everybody to get to know you a little bit more, which I'm excited about. Kristy, I still remember the moment I met you. You
Yeah,
came into, I believe it was a channeling,
it
and
was.
then the second thing was a class, but the first one
Mhm.
was a channeling, and you were there, and it was almost magnetic. I needed to talk to you afterwards. There was just a need, and we ended up talking for quite a while. And I think
Yeah.
your daughter was there too, correct?
Yes. I do believe so.
Yeah.
But I can't remember which one because I bring
Yeah.
it with me to most things.
I know, right? And I was just so touched, and they were right in it with us. They
Mhm.
were they were in that energy. It was lovely. I love kids. I have kids. She has kids. We get it.
Mhm.
So I would love for people to get to know you a little bit. If you would like to tell us who you are, what you do in the
Yeah.
world, and
Cool.
we'll start
Um,
there.
I am a licensed marriage and family therapist is uh, kind of my base ground of education. I'm also a Reiki master. This summer, I forgot to tell you, I upgraded, or not upgrade, but like kind of been an upgrade. I went through a Karuna Reiki class that just like really like
Yes. I think
changed
you're
my
gonna be in good
vibrational.
company
Huh?
at the event. I think you're gonna be
I
in good
noticed.
company at the event. I think we've got 3 Karuna Reiki,
Mhm.
practitioners. So,
Yeah, I saw that.
everybody, if
Exciting.
you wanna experience some Reiki, this
Yeah.
is your chance. I
This is
love
the
it.
chance of this event because, yeah,
Right?
it was a very shifting summer for that. So,
Awesome.
um, but I do EMDR therapy as well, which is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So, it's a trauma-based therapy, but doesn't have to mean that you have to have a big T trauma, like a major event. It just means that you have to have things in your life that you realize have caused um, discord or kind of ambivalence, if you will, as well, because that's in that
Mhm.
ambivalence is where we haven't made any decision, and it causes those parts of us to fight and collide. And so,
I
I
love that you
found,
just said that because I haven't heard it put that way. Um, but that's that makes so much sense because it's there's such power in making a choice about, are you going to be mad, are you going to be um are you going to overcome it, are you going to get to that point of resilience,
mhm.
but you can't ever hit it if you don't choose, if you're just in the, I love the word ambivalent. I don't love the word ambivalence, but it's so appropriate here, so I'm glad you
Yeah.
said that.
Well, and it's in that ambivalence that, like, sometimes parts of us, like, take over and say, "No, you don't get to be sad. You don't get to be, uh, hurt or any of these
Yeah.
things. You just get to, like, keep going because that's what you're supposed to do." And
Right.
so, like, it's working, like, to actually have parts work together of ourselves rather than saying, "No, we're just gonna tuck that, like, part away over here. You're gonna ignore it. Don't listen."
Yep.
So, So EMDR has really shown me that, and I use that, and I use crystal therapy with it and healing. My office, any of my clients know, is full of crystals. They have a bowl, literally full, like a candy bowl of different palm stones that they get to pick from, or if there's any of the different other ones that they want to hold during session, they get to. And usually we look it up and we check out what crystal they picked and what it meant, and it usually correlates to what we were working on that day. So it just helps them reaffirm their own intuition about what they needed to hold was
I
right
love
on, because I am such an advocate for being like finding your own inner healer, if you will, in your own way to like listen to yourself, because our inner voice is so important. And we've learned through so much societal and cultural learning and programming to say, nope, don't listen. Don't hear that voice.
100%.
Don't listen to it.
Yeah.
So,
I love that. I love that. I think, I think so much of the work that, and it's probably one of the reasons you and I just resonated with each other, because that being able to get to that, because we come from a place usually in our life experience that we knew that there was something there, but we're in conflict with the world around us that said, shh, or you're too much, or that's not here, not now. And so being in that conflict, it's either stay pushed down, stay in the box, or what are you going to do? Well, Reiki, or well, channeling, or well, healing, or therapy. And you begin to burst out of it. So I think that's just so powerful. I love it.
And it's kind of one of the reasons why I went into more of a private practice setting from working where I was working. I was working in a prison system, and you had lots of limitations in that system. And so to become my authentic self in the office more, I felt like, this isn't, I'm doing as much as I can with what I have and the tools I can bring in and kind of covertly bring in. And but it was hiding who I was, and that didn't feel good for me. So if I'm telling people come in alignment, like speak up for who you are and come out with who you are, I'm like, this is not, I loved the work there. And I'm finding that I've still got clientele that I'm attracting that have that deeper work that they need, because I put it out there enough that I have the skill set to work in that area that they are attracted, and it's so all good.
I'm just that's so heartening, because I know that it can be very oppressive to be, when your clients are ready to do things and the system that they're in, for whatever reason, no judgment, right? They're in a system of oppression. It's like having a client who's ready to break through, who's in a marriage or in and they just can't break free of it. There's like all this, or a family system that's very oppressive and very controlling. All of this makes the work that you're doing that much more challenging, And so for you to also be the one who is trying to work within an oppressive system to help people, like, I get it. That's harsh. That's harsh.
It was harsh. And one thing that the freedom that I found in my practice now is that I offer healing sessions between some of the regular psychotherapy sessions, because I found that sometimes stuff energetically that just needs to let go of and break free, that we don't need to talk. Their talking wasn't getting anywhere because it just kind of went in a cycle. So
that's right. That's right. So when you talk about these healing sessions, tell me a little bit about, I think that's a nice segue into what you're going to be offering at the Light Up.
Yeah. So the healing sessions, I use the Reiki as kind of the main, like what energy healing I channel, so to speak. But I also use some sound healing, aromatherapy, and the crystal therapy as well. They're kind of, place crystals on different chakras throughout the session. And so it's kind of a mix of things I've experienced along the way, and I've taken forward that, like, this is really helpful. When I did a healings like this, these are parts that I find were really helpful.
Yeah.
And
So you're
so,
using your alignment to your inner wisdom
mhm,
to support people in feeling that connection, which I think I will tell you at these events, one of the things that happened last month, because I don't think you weren't at the last one, am I correct?
no.
It was a blur for me. Like I create parties I don't attend.
Right.
I've said that for years. Like as a channel, I'm like, I'm not there. What? This is it's a robbery, highway robbery.
You just need to have some videos, like,
Like I need to have spy cams. Like, oh, okay,
just
that's
put it
what
on
was
your shirt.
going right? Well, people coming up to me afterwards, remember when you said, I'm like, no, I don't. So I'm there, but I'm not there. And it looks like
Mhm.
me and it sounds like me, but not
Mhm.
necessarily me. So
Yes.
it's a funny thing. But one of the things that came up at the last one, and it's very interesting because it wasn't like a direct response that
Mhm.
people were saying, but like for the week and a half afterwards, I kept getting calls or emails like, oh, I'm still feeling so like open and so resonant with this. And I was like, okay, that's very, very cool. And so a lot of what I believe is part of that is the work with the different practitioners, because we are collectively creating something.
Mhm.
And everyone who's showing up to each event, it's going to be different. It's going to, if you're being called to something to be there, it may be for the channel, but it also could be to just be in that energy. And it's the energy of all the healers that are there. Annette's going to be there, like all these different components that collectively we are creating. And so as you are doing your work, as you're opening people up, as you're helping them get into alignment, it's like tuning, like a tuning fork, right?
Mhm. It is. It really is, and, like, helping them kind of find those ways, and that's kind of what so you asked about what I'll be doing there. So
Mhm.
I'll be doing kind of a mini meditation, a little kind of where, um, it's do some guided visualization, but then also using, some of the methods I use with the I'll bring a few crystals. I will not bring my big bowl, but I'll bring a
What?
few some. It is heavy. It is probably I wanna say that thing I've lifted every day probably 4 or 5 times, and it's 20 to 30 pounds of, like, rock.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I love it.
It is
Shalena, good morning. I'm glad she said good morning.
good
So,
morning.
oh
So,
my
yeah,
goodness.
but I will be bringing some, and so that'll be what I'll be doing. It's one of my clients' actually favorite exercises that I do with them because it helps
Awesome.
them clear out and release some stuff that's right up at the surface ready for release, so
I love
I
it. I
figured
love it.
that will be helpful, so yeah, and
Excellent.
then the other thing I do here is I do crystal healing meditations every noon this Friday. The reason I couldn't meet at noon today is I do a crystal healing meditation every Friday at noon, or most Fridays.
So tell us where you are,
I'm in
because
Cannon
this is
Falls.
important. Where do
Mhm.
you live?
Cannon Falls, Minnesota.
Cannon Falls, everybody. So for those of you who are listening to this now, next, future, wherever you are in time and space, she is in Cannon Falls. So if you're out that way and you're like, there's nobody out here, there's nobody doing anything, I'm
Mhm.
telling you, she
Yep,
is.
yep.
So this is awesome. I love it. Tell
Yes,
me
I've
about
got a
Cannon Falls and what your experience has been doing work out there. How has that been?
Cannon Falls has been actually I'm gonna say a lot more open than I thought it was gonna be.
Mhm.
It's a small town, so I originally had my thoughts, and then I found it I work out of Acacia Studios
Oh yeah.
here, and she's a massage therapist is the owner, and so she herself has her own wonderful healing abilities and has it already out on her website that she's open to holistic healing kinds of things, and so I was like, she's already done it. I don't have to reinvent the wheel here and put myself out there and be like, so I joined up with her in her studio to start
That's
out with.
awesome.
So she has another therapist that's a somatic therapist, so someone that does the body work, and we've got yoga that goes on here. So there's lots of little kind of
You
things
got a
that you wouldn't
community growing
realize
up
are
right now.
here. Yeah. So it's been a lovely little town. We get a lot of bikers that come on through because they've got the And I mean by cyclists, like
Yeah,
actual, like,
yeah,
there's
because
a
the
trail that
Cannon
goes
Falls
from.
Trail, right?
Mhm. Yes,
Yes,
so,
I love it.
but it's been good, and my draw has been from actually surrounding cities as well, so Red Wing over to Hastings, over to Northfield, and, even down in Rochester, so
I love it.
I
Patricia, good morning. Patricia says, "Enjoying your amazing tools." And
oh,
do you know Patricia? You
I
guys
don't
know each other? Oh, see, Shalena, Patricia, like amazing. And Patricia's gonna a practitioner at the event as well. And so
know.
you two and Reiki and you two need to meet. So I'm so excited
Mhm.
about this. The event's going to be amazing. If anybody has any questions, just feel free to type them in the comments and we'll be able to answer them. Shalena, it's good to see you. I miss you. I miss your daughter. See, she's another mama, right?
Mm,
We've got all these mamas with these littles, and
mhm.
we're doing the work and we're out, being the very best we can be. Right before this, right before our conversation started, we were talking about September and how crazy it is because we both have kids in school
Mhm.
and getting like it's a blessing to
Yeah,
have them back in school,
yes.
but there's all the things that come with it, right?
All the events, all the little things, you gotta go here, there, and everywhere and make sure your appointments don't overlap them. That's been
Oh,
my challenge.
yes,
Making
yes.
sure I'm on home by the time the bus gets drops her off at the door, because that gives me an hour time extra after school, so.
I Isn't that funny? It's so true. Like the bus is a blessing. Like I
Mm,
love the bus because I don't pick them up. I get more time.
mhm.
That's yeah, school day doesn't end at 3. No, no. We get more time. So all those mommies out there, just know that we're working it with you. And one of the things that I think comes up sometimes with people who are doing healing work or entrepreneurs or, um, especially when you're doing appointment work,
Mhm.
and classes and things like that, it's hard. It's hard to balance it all.
It is, yep, and that's one thing my clients have had to learn, like, they're like, "Any night evening, weekends? Not
No.
too much, honestly, because I've got kids." I'm a single mom, so
Yeah.
that does not. Would have to line up babysitters a lot, and I'm like, "I'm not gonna get," unless there's like I'll do Reiki classes on the weekend or something like that's like
Yeah.
once a month or something, but nothing that's taking away from my regular time, and that was kind of my goal in going into private practice too, is I want my time with my kids
Yeah.
because I was driving 2 hours a day just to get to work, like, to and from work, and I was like, "I
Remember that? I remember when you told me that, I was like, "Wait, what?" Because I get it. I get it. And, kids are a blessing and a curse because they need you. They
mm,
don't care. They don't care about where you make your money. They don't care that you have a client. They don't care about this. And so I love that you are prioritizing and getting clear. And what's funny is the more clear we are about it,
mhm,
our clients, the people that we work with, rise up and they go, "Oh, okay, that's just the way it
mhm,
is." And if they don't, they probably aren't our best clients anyway. And
yeah,
so, it there's plenty of therapists, coaches to go around. If you need somebody who's available nights, I'm happy to refer you. Like
yeah,
that's how
that's
we do
what
it.
I had to say, although it is harder to find therapists sometimes, that's
Yeah, I can only
been a
imagine.
flutter,
Yeah.
but
But I love it. I love it. Well, I am just so excited. If anybody has any questions, I'm just going to invite you one more time to type them up. I am so excited that you're going to be a part of this event. I think it's going to be so fun to have your energy there, to have your just one of the things that I love about you and I've always loved about you is just you when you show up to something, you are just fully all into it and you bring it and it doesn't matter what's going on. It can be a hot mess in there. You don't matter. I'm here. I'm all in. And when I said I'm doing this event, you were one of the first 3 people to say, yeah, Nia, let's do this. And so I am so, so, so grateful that you said yes. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you haven't signed up, there's still time. And if you don't know until the last minute, show up. There will be tickets.
mhm,
I'm pretty sure of it. And we'll figure it out. If we have to do standing room, we'll do standing room. But
mhm.
go to yeswordcoaching.com/lightedup. Tickets are $20. Show up at 5 o'clock so that you can get in with some of these amazing practitioners. We doubled the number of practitioners this month so that people would have more chances to get some time. And then the event with Annette starts at 6 o'clock, and then I am on at 6:30 where we'll be doing a group channeling, and it's going to be fun. And if the first event is any indicator as to what we can expect, there were things that came out of this event that I will just say is, one is connections.
That's part of the reason why I said, yeah, like I love,
right? Don't you want to see people?
Yes, I love like creating events where we're like, let's get to know everybody.
Yes,
and that we're not alone. That's been the big thing that my clients that have connected with me are like, where are my people? Like, that's the other thing I've brought to my clients is that ability to share about their intuitive gifts and not feel like they're getting, what's the word I'm looking for? Pathologized.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
it's true. And I think it's really easy. I said last month, I'll just I think I wrote this in a blog post, maybe I'll repost it, but I've been thinking about, because I'm a mom of littles, so I watch Disney movies like chronically, right? And I was thinking about the movie Moana. And how Moana knew there was something beyond the reef. She needed to go. She was called to go. And yet it was so hard for her to get past that reef. And the first time she tried, she got tumbled by the waves, right? And when I set up this event, I'm like, this is the invitation to come beyond the reef. And the reef for most of us is just the comfort and familiarity of our own home that we've just gotten used to, of our own environment. And how do we come back into something bigger and more expansive? And this isn't the end all be all. It's just a start. It's like that initial push into a new friendship, a new connection, some inspiration, a reminder of who you are and what you're about and why you want to do the things you do. So all of that was like, that's where this stemmed from, was this idea of Moana. And how do we get past our own reef? And so if there's nothing holding us back except our own story. And so that's why I'm talking to everybody. I'm like, you want to come and see all these people. You want to come see me. I want to see you. Let's make it fun. And so selfishly, I'm surrounding myself with amazing people so that I show up too, because I have to get off the island, right? We all do. So,
yeah.
Well, I am so excited that you said yes. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank you for joining us this morning. Happy Friday. We've got 2 more days. If you don't have your tickets, get them. We are excited to see you. And I can't wait to see you in person and give you a big hug.
Oh, it's been a while.
That's the other best part. So we'll be doing that. All right. I will see you later. You guys have a good day. Happy Friday. And thanks again for joining us, Kristy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.